In an age where the internet can make any piece of content go viral within minutes, a disturbing piece of footage has captivated the world. A video featuring the legendary drug lord Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán interrogating a man tied to a pole has recently surfaced, sending shockwaves through social media. The video is a haunting reminder of El Chapo's brutal reign and the absolute fear he generated in his victims. Today we dive into the life and legacy of El Chapo, offering a detailed perspective on his rise to power, his famous criminal career, and the global impact of his actions. The rise of El Chapo from poverty to power. Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán's journey to becoming one of the most feared drug lords in history is a story marked by poverty, determination, and an extensive understanding of the drug trade. Born in a small village in the rugged mountains of Sinaloa, Mexico, Guzmán's early life was marked by hardship. Growing up in extreme poverty, he began working in the fields as a young boy, learning the value of hard work and the harsh realities of survival. El Chapo's determination and sharp intelligence set him apart from others. Recognizing the profitable opportunities in the drug trade, he started working with local drug traffickers. His deep understanding of the drug trade, combined with his determination, allowed him to rise quickly through the ranks. By his early 20s, Guzmán had established himself as a powerful figure in the narcotics world. Guzmán's rise was not just about violent force, it was about strategy. He understood the complications of drug trafficking better than anyone. He mastered the art of smuggling drugs into the United States, using creative methods like tunnels, hidden compartments in vehicles, and even submarines. This cleverness made the Sinaloa Cartel incredibly successful and hard to stop. By founding the Sinaloa Cartel, El Chapo created one of the most powerful and violent drug trafficking organizations in the world. His leadership style was a blend of attraction and ruthlessness. He commanded loyalty through fear and respect, and he was known for both his generosity to his community and his brutal punishment of rivals and traitors. This duality of his character, combined with his strategic mind, allowed El Chapo to build a drug empire that controlled much of the narcotics trade in North America, making him one of the most famous criminals of our time. The duality of El Chapo. The viral footage of El Chapo interrogating a man tied to a pole is a brutal example of his ruthless nature. The scene is terrifying. The victim's eyes are filled with fear, his body shaking as Guzmán questions him in a cold, calculating manner. El Chapo displays an impression of threat and authority, his every word dripping with the promise of violence. The tension in the video is obvious, showing a man who ruled with an iron fist, provoking fear in all who crossed his path. However, this ruthless image is only one part of El Chapo's complex personality. A different side of Guzmán is revealed in an interview conducted by actor Sean Penn, while El Chapo was still on the run. In this footage, we see a man who appears almost vulnerable. Speaking openly about his life, motivations, and dreams, Guzmán shows a maturity of character that clashes sharply with his feared reputation. During the interview, El Chapo discusses his humble beginnings, his family, and the harsh realities that drove him into the drug trade. He talks about his goals and the desire to provide for his loved ones, painting a picture of a man shaped by circumstance as much as by choice. This peek into his personal life challenges the typical portrayal of drug lords as simple villains, offering a more complicated perspective. The contrast of these two sides of El Chapo, the cruel interrogator and the reflective criminal, demonstrates the duality of his character. While the footage of the interrogation showcases his ability to intimidate and control through fear, the interview reveals a man with human vulnerabilities and desires. This complexity makes El Chapo a fascinating figure, challenging simple categorization and reminding us that even the most famous criminals have a complex humanity. This dual perspective complicates the plot around El Chapo, suggesting that beneath the surface of every villain lies a story shaped by a variety of factors, from personal desires to social and economic pressures. It challenges us to reconsider our opinions of those involved in organized crime, recognizing the human features that contribute to their actions. El Chapo's daring escapes. El Chapo's ability to dodge capture through a series of daring prison escapes is the stuff of legend. His first escape in 2001 was straight out of a movie. He bribed prison guards and hid in a laundry cart, slipping away unnoticed. This dramatic exit not only highlighted his resourcefulness, but also exposed the deep-rooted corruption within Mexican prisons. His second escape in 2015 was even more daring. Guzmán used a network of tunnels dug beneath the prison, complete with lighting, ventilation, and a motorcycle on rails, to speed his way to freedom. This complicated plan left the authorities shocked and desperate to recapture him. In the interview with actor Sean Penn, El Chapo talked about these escapes with a mix of pride and casualness, offering a peek into his mindset. He detailed how carefully planning and strategic bribes made his escapes possible, showcasing his cleverness and determination. These stories fascinated the public, further strengthening his reputation as an undiscovered and powerful rival. The pure creativity and bravery of his escapes not only demonstrated his resourcefulness, but also underscored the huge challenges law enforcement agencies faced in bringing him to justice. The trial and afterward arrest of El Chapo marked a significant moment in the fight against drug trafficking. After his final capture in 2016, Guzmán was transferred to the United States to face a variety of charges. The trial, held in New York, was one of the most high-profile criminal cases in recent history. Throughout the trial, prosecutors presented detailed evidence of Guzmán's drug trafficking operations, painting a full portrait of his vast criminal empire. The arrest of El Chapo sent a strong message to other powerful criminals. No one is beyond the reach of justice. His life sentence marked a major victory for law enforcement agencies worldwide and demonstrated the power of international cooperation in battling global crime. The scale of El Chapo's criminal empire. The trial revealed the unbelievable scale of El Chapo's drug trafficking operations. Witnesses revealed the vast network of smuggling routes, safe houses, and money laundering schemes used to move billions of dollars worth of drugs across borders. The huge volume of narcotics that flowed through Guzmán's empire was unbelievable, with cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and marijuana being shipped to every corner of the globe. El Chapo's empire was not just about moving drugs. It was about creating a huge, complicated network that touched every part of the drug trade. From growing and manufacturing drugs to distributing them through elaborate smuggling routes, Guzmán's organization left no stone unturned. His network of safe houses and secret tunnels allowed for the effortless transportation of drugs across borders, evading law enforcement with incredible efficiency. The trial also pointed out the international nature of Guzmán's operations. His cartel had connections in countries around the world, showing the global reach of his criminal activities. The complexity and scale of his empire made it incredibly difficult for authorities to track and break down the organization. Yet, the trial and eventual arrest of El Chapo demonstrated the determination and strength of law enforcement agencies in their fight against such powerful criminal organizations. The viral footage of El Chapo's interrogation is a sharp reminder of the brutal reality of his power. Yet his story is also one of complexity, marked by poverty, determination, and a constant quest for power. El Chapo's rise to power, his clever escapes, and his eventual capture and conviction paint a complicated picture of a man who was both cruel and vulnerable, feared and admired. His impact on communities, law enforcement, and the global drug trade is undeniable. The detailed disclosures of his operations exposed the huge scale of his criminal empire, while his trial highlighted the importance of international cooperation in the fight against global crime. El Chapo's legacy is a witness to the broad consequences of organized crime and the ongoing battle to protect society from its harm.